Hi guys, my name's Gary. I'm course leader A-Level Media Studies here at HNC. We're just going to talk you through a couple of our key texts that we look at throughout the A-Level course to give you a taste of what you will be studying when you come and join us on the course. The first one will be the Daily Mirror and the second one will be the social realism film by Daniel Blake. On the course, we think it's important that you are made culturally aware of things outside your comfort zone. So you wouldn't necessarily choose to read a newspaper and you wouldn't necessarily choose to watch a film like Daniel Blake. But what we think is that as analysts, as people who are looking at the media at large, you should look outside the mainstream and challenge yourself. So the first thing I want to do is just go through a few key terms or a few key themes before we think about analysing this front cover of the Daily Mirror. So all of you will have heard of the term fake news. Fake news is around us all the time, where you get your information from on social media. The most powerful man in the world has used it to his advantage to attract and maintain a huge following in the United States. We've got terms like echo chamber, which I'll talk about shortly, and I also want you to think about facts. Okay, so when we talk about echo chambers in media studies, we talk about echo chambers because I believe it's very negative if you are only getting your information from one place. What that then means is that as a person you aren't developing. As a person you are not hearing things that you don't want to hear. You are not hearing things that challenge you. In order for you to think critically, you will look at a range of products and you will be able to start to think about how, moving forward in an exam situation, you can offer a balanced view and argument. And the last thing, this idea of fact. So when someone shouts loud, when somebody has an extreme opinion, that doesn't mean that they should have more influence than someone who is espousing true facts. Objective facts are getting lost in the new world that we live in now, in this post-truth society, as it's been described. Social media, while it can be positive, it has a lot of negatives as well, and the post-truth society we find ourselves in is certainly an example of that. So what I want to do is just talk to you a bit about the Daily Mirror. Okay, the reason I want to do that is because it's important that we do look at traditional media outlets and still understand the impact that they can have. So as you can see, the Daily Mirror cover here is from 2016 when Donald Trump won the election in America. The Daily Mirror is a traditionally left-wing Labour-supported newspaper. So when we look at this image, it's clear to see that they are reporting this as a negative, that Donald Trump has become the most important person in the world. If we look at the way the newspaper is presented on that particular day, it's a very simple layout. What I find interesting as a British person is on that particular day, there was a very shocking story that 7 people were killed in a tram crash, but that has been put in the top right corner and has been given smaller billing than something that's happened on the other side of the Atlantic. The image itself was by an artist who originally produced this as a punk piece of art. So clearly, without even analysing the image, we can immediately understand that the newspaper, the Daily Mirror, with its left-wing ideals, with its Labour-supporting ideals, is not particularly happy that Donald Trump has become the American president. What we also want to think about is the idea that this is a tabloid newspaper and the kind of person who will be reading it. The Daily Mirror is predominantly aimed at a working class audience. So the depth of what the newspaper goes into won't be as much as a quality newspaper such as the Times or the Guardian. But through analysis, through looking at something like this, we can begin to understand what the nation here is actually thinking and responding to the fact that Donald Trump has won an election, that the idea of populism and populist policies are working. It's a very simple cover. So what we would do, if you were with us in the class, we would spend time going through top to bottom the important things that the audience would expect to see on this particular day. Just linking to a point that I mentioned a minute ago, we talked about this idea of echo chambers. So if you were somebody who bought the Daily Mirror, it's very unlikely that you would look at the front cover and disagree with what they're saying. So the Daily Mirror sells around 600,000 copies a day, and I would imagine the majority of those 600,000 would be left-wing supporters, would be Labour supporters, and would be agreeing with what they are putting in the newspaper. So if you think about how that happens online now, and if you are only hearing the same information and having that information reinforced, it's a very powerful tool. And what we would potentially look at in the class is start to think about how traditional newspapers moving into influencers and online personalities can affect us and the way that our policy and the way that our lives go on a daily basis.
Hi everyone, I'm Ellie. I'm a teacher on the A-Level Media Studies course as well. I'm going to just take you quickly through the social realism film I, Daniel Blake. Now, we look at I, Daniel Blake in relation to the marketing of it. So in previous lessons we might have discussed Black Panther, massive Hollywood blockbuster, and then we can compare the marketing techniques that are different. Looking at Black Panther, their budget was around $200 million, and then when we're looking at I, Daniel Blake, approximately £2 million. So massive, massive difference. And a key element of that marketing is the poster. It's a huge tool for the marketing. A key aspect of this is that there's no star power through actors. The main focus point is Ken Loach, massive director in social realism British films. So we don't have the big production company like we would expect on Black Panther and other Hollywood films, but what we do have is some awards that the film had won, so like the Palme d'Or. So a key element of the marketing for the film is the reviews from well-established organisations. Within these reviews we can see language such as touches the soul. Now, touches the soul makes us realise that it's going to be something gritty and it'll be socially critical, which is something we come to expect from Ken Loach as a director, as a predominantly left-wing social activist. The gesture code of the main protagonist, holding his hand up like so, suggests that he is defiant in the face of adversity. This is something that we'll be able to delve into further when you join us on the course. That's all we've got time for today, but I hope you enjoyed a little delve into something a bit different. Thank you.